This is what it looks like. It adds peaks and valleys to the work and it adds a little bit of stretch to it. On this video, I'm going to teach you how to do the faux knitted rib. I'm going to be using a 4mm hook and some acrylic yarn size 4. All right. So for this design, your work needs to be any number of stitches plus 1 for the base chain. I'm going to create a chain of 15 just to demonstrate this. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is going to be the foundation chain that I'm going to just show you this design from. Now for row 1, we're going to skip 2 chains and then into the next do a half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, go into the the third chain from the hook, insert your hook, grab the yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all the loops to create a half double crochet. That chain 2 that you skipped is going to also count as a half double crochet, sorry. So we're going to now work 1 half double crochet into each of the chains of the foundation chain. So you basically go into each one of the chains with a half double crochet all the way down. Do that all the way down and I'll see you when you're done. All right, so this is what my first row looks like. This is your foundation row or row 1. Now for row 2, we're going to start by chaining 2, which counts as a half double crochet. And now we're going to flip our work. So we're going to be skipping the first stitch, and into the second, we're going to work a half double crochet into the back loop only. That's what's going to give us the ribbing effect. So we're looking at the stitch like this, but if you flip it up, you're going to see your V's that are facing this way. And so the loop closest to you is the front loop, and the one furthest away from you is the back loop. So normally, I'm just going to demonstrate real quick. You're going to yarn over. Normally, we would go under both of the loops. However, for this design, you are going to go through the back loop only. So we're skipping the first one into the next, going through the back loop only like so, grabbing the yarn and pulling up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through all the loops. And that's a half double crochet in the back loop only. Let's do that again. Yarn over into the next stitch, back loop only. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through all the loops. And then once again, yarn over, next stitch, back loop only. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through all the loops. So you're creating half double crochets into the back loop only of each stitch all the way down. So continue doing this and I'll see you when you're almost done. Okay, I'm almost at the end here and I just want to show you that I have 1 stitch left and then the turning chain. So it's important that we don't skip that turning chain because it counts as a stitch. So I'm going to do my last one into the last stitch in the back loop only. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through all 3. And now there's the turning chain. So we're going to go basically just in the back of the chain. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through all the loops. That one's not technically going to be in the back loop, but that's okay. And now this is what the end of row 2 looks like. So you've created a little bit of depth. The second row looks like it's behind the first row. So now for every row forward, you're just going to work it like row 2. And then create the edge however big you want it. I'm going to do the beginning of row 3 with you. We're going to chain 2, flip our work. And now we're going to skip the first stitch and work that back loop half double crochet into the second stitch. Grab the yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the loops. And this is what we want all the way down. Every time we're working in the back loop only to create that ribbing effect. Just going to do a few more so you can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so if I flip it over, you'll start seeing the, every other row you're going to notice like a peak and valley. It's going to start going like that. So right now it's actually too early to show you that. You just got to keep going. And the more rows you do, the more you're going to see that texture of like rising and then lowering and then rising and lowering. So this is my third row here. I'm at the end for my last stitch, and then for the chain, the turning chain. It's going to be important you go into that turning chain, because otherwise you're going to be skipping a stitch every time and your edges are going to be all wonky. So to keep it straight on the edges, you got to make sure you go into the turning chain with your last stitch. So there we go. This is how you continue on. Just repeat row 2 back and forth. And then once you're done, it's going to look like this. Okay, this one's really cool. So you work it like this, but then I guess you could use it this direction or this direction. So this is very helpful. I've used this kind of stitch for a winter hat, for example. This is done with half double crochets. The one that I did was single crochets. And it's the same idea of going in the back loop only to create this kind of ribbing effect. The reason why this is in the edging section of the series is because it can also be used as an edge. So for example, this was a little bit wider. You can make it a little thinner and add it to the edge of something, but I've used it like this to add as a sleeve cuff or at the edge of any wearable, because it gives you a little bit of stretch. So where you need it to stretch and then come and stay in one kind of like shape, then that helps you with that. So this is just a nice way to add a knit look to the work, but also it adds a little bit of stretch. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.